is it so? You're letting go, and why? Why is it so? I was angry before, now you're slamming the door on our lives, and I'll fight. I'll never let you down, no. I can't find your soul, find your soul. Why won't you let me know, let me know? Love never seems to go, never seems to go, no, never seems to go, no. Love never seems to go. I think you're gonna let go of our lives. Why is it so? You're letting go, and why? Why is it so? I was angry before, now you're slamming the door on our lives, and I'll fight. I'll never let you down, no. I'll never let you down. I'll never let you down, no.
I don't know how you did it, but I need an explanation. Guess I can't get over the day we met. I gotta see you again. Every detail is getting replayed into my imagination. From the clothes you wear to the way you smell. Yeah, yeah. I meant to picture, don't forget it. What's going on with me? Oh, I don't get it. 'Cause since you say hello, you feel my spirit. Never felt this before, I admit it. Oh, less than a second till you less than a second to make me know what I need and the place I'd rather be. Oh, less than a second. Oh, less than a second to love you deeper than the sea, to make me know what I need. My heart is exploding like a grenade. Every time I think about your pretty face, I think that I like you more today than I did yesterday. Oh, I meant to picture, don't forget it. What's going on with me? Oh, I don't get it. 'Cause since you say hello, you feel my spirit. Never felt this before, I admit it. Oh, less than a second till you less than a second to make me know what I need and the place I'd rather be. Oh, less than a second. Oh, less than a second to love you deeper than the sea, to make me know what I
Welcome everybody to the stream. We're glad that you're here. This is our final round, our final race for this kind of long season. 10 races, 10 weeks of racing. This is your host, Tatiana, Dirty Tati. I also have a guest that you guys are familiar with. It's Twilight. What's going on, Twilight?
Oh, not much, Toddy. It's just been a very busy 4th of July weekend.
It has.
But what better way to end it, though, with a race in Division 2.
Exactly. And it looks like it's a full lobby. There are 13 drivers on the grid, so kind of a full grid here, which is a good look. In fact, why don't we look at it, because I think they're going to get started soon. We can talk about the grid order right meow. What do we got? Who got fastest lap? Venom. Is that surprising to anyone?
Nope. Not at all.
Nope. Then Sim Racer AC, of course, also not surprising, followed by J-Rod in third. So that's your top three already. But the first row is just Venom and Sim Racer AC. You got Chevy in fourth, Green in fifth, Egon in sixth. Twilight, do you think there's a chance for anyone beyond sixth to get a race win here?
I'm looking at the numbers here, and anything can happen at this track here at Brands Hatch.
Anything?
I know, looking at the numbers, I think, seventh on down, it may be hard to get a win, but this is Brands Hatch we're talking about, folks. There are so many mistakes you can make at this track.
Oh my gosh.
And it is fitting for a season finale.
Whew. Boy, when Brands Hatch catches you...
It is unforgiving.
It is, and you're right. So you're right. There might be a chance for anyone back there. We got Gorski, who's been holding his own all season long. In fact, why don't we... Let's see, where are our standings right now? Because I don't know.
So taking a look at the standings here, right now in first, Venom, he's got a 15-point lead over J-Rod. Now, since he's here, that's pretty much going to lock it up for him. He's got the championship. Now, this is what's going to be interesting, though, because second, third, and fourth are separated by 9 points, and that's between J-Rod, Chevy, and Sim Racer. But, other than that, points-wise, we were talking about Igorski. He's tied with Green right now for 8th position. They're both at 63 points. And then Spider and G-Bub, which I don't know if G-Bub is in here or not. If he's not, then Spider's got nothing to worry about, and I don't see him.
I don't see him either.
So, points-wise, it's actually kind of spread out. I know after this race, Renegade was 3 points behind G-Bub. I think he's going to pass him for 11th. Marchie Boy is here. He'll be passing me for 13th. And, that's about it.
Okay. Well, it's looking good so far.
It is. It's looking great.
Yeah, absolutely. Our podium from last week is familiar. J-Rod with the win at Spa, Sim Racer AC in second place, and then Venom actually took third for that. So Venom it's crazy that I don't think, well, you tell me, has Venom won a race in the last 3 races?
I'm looking through here. I'm trying to remember. And looking at it here, no. Because J-Rod won round 7 at Maggiore, but Venom finished second. Mm-hmm. Now, when it came to Sardegna, NX came with a win. That was a dominating win. He pretty much led from start to finish. J-Rod was second, Chevy third. And then Spa, Venom came, he was third, but J-Rod and Sim Racer won. But it's those consistent podium finishes that have really helped Venom secure this championship. He's had a couple bad races, but he's always rebounded. He has won a couple in the season, which has helped him tremendously. But it's that consistency that is pretty much showing us why he deserved to be champion.
Absolutely, because he had a pretty commanding lead to now be in a position to have the championship clinched, despite not having won a race since J-Rod came back. So yeah, that's a pretty good look. Man, I'm so ready for this race because I'm looking at we're watching Sim Racer AC lap around right now on the small screen. Actually, I'll go ahead and transition to the main. And you can just see how narrow this track is. It's crazy. Like, there's no room. And then, there's nothing but grass. If you mess up a corner, you're in the grass. Yeah. You know what? He's about to start a new lap right now. Why don't we go through, let's see if I remember some corner names here. This is the last corner coming up. We'll take a lap on board before we start with Sim Racer AC.
Awesome.
Coming through the straight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Looks like Venom started the final there, but the turn he's going through right now is going
okay.
to be detrimental at the very beginning of the race because you do not want to get ballsy and try and go 3 wide or even 2 wide through those turns because
you
someone
sure
will
don't.
definitely end up in the grass or the sand. You know, before you know it, they're building sandcastles.
Yep, Paddock Bend is what it's called as it passes the paddock, and it's probably the most difficult corner on this track, and that's saying something about when you're looking at a track with a lot of difficult corners, quite frankly. But here we are, they're lined up. It's time to go. Hopefully no one gets stuck.
That's what I'm hoping here.
Yeah, it looks like
And-
everyone got away. They're
And-
underway.
Chevy with a wonderful start there, already jumped up into second, and
Ooh,
see,
Renegade's
that's what
off.
happened. Renegades
off. A
Sim
lot of
Racers
cars
in.
off. A lot of cars off
No,
in the
this
back.
is going to be a red.
Is this a red
This will
flag?
be a red.
Yeah, I think this is a red flag
We-
start here.
This will have to be a red flag.
Sim Racer even down into 10th, having been spun as well. That was crazy to watch. Let's see if we can go back. We can catch the start of it. That's Renegade first. Hopefully we stay at this angle. No, we don't stay at the angle, but you can see just carnage, just insanity at the start. Sim Racer doesn't get spun till the next corner, but yeah, that start didn't go to plan.
So should I type down red then? Just let them know.
Well, you know, that's up to the stewards. That's
Yeah,
not
that's-
up to us. And Venom is still racing. So, Interesting.
I don't think that's a good call, folks.
I don't either. But, you know, we're here to commentate on the race.
We
Not
are.
here to call
we
it.
are. Yep, we are not.
I do
So,
think that should
just
have
to
been
let
a red
every-
flag start. I feel like that was almost half the field gone there.
That looked like a good 3, 4, maybe even 5 cars that went off. But I am going to be watching over the YouTube comments as well. If I do see any kind of comments come in, I'll be sure to mention them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Obviously, I'm not going to talk over you, Toddy. Just whenever we get kind of a break there, I'll read off a couple comments and go from there.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. Hey, Gran Turismo champs. Yeah, you're right. Brands Hatch will throw you wherever it wants to. Looks like we've got some pretty close racing up front, except Venom. Venom's already kind of run away with it. 2 seconds up on Chevy and J-Rod back behind. You think maybe Venom doesn't know about what happened back there? Because, I mean, he was off and away through the next corner by the time everyone kind of spun. He was, you know, he was into Druids already.
Yeah, but like
but,
you said, that's
Igorski would have been back there, though. I mean, Igorski could have said something.
yeah. I think anybody could have said something there to maybe make them realize, or maybe we just don't know. But we might be in charge. But
We
you know,
are not in
let's
charge. I guarantee that we are
Meg.
not in charge. But
Yeah.
But yeah, that is unfortunate. And you know, Sim Racer AC, who started in second place, is now sitting in 10th, and 10th by a lot, 8.9 seconds behind Renegade. Sim Racer is. He's gonna have to put together some incredibly quick laps, basically, to make this work.
Yeah, and Benjo has now left the room. Not sure what happened there.
Uh-oh.
But I'm looking through the field here. We've got a battle here for second place.
We do.
And that's between Chevy and J-Rod.
And they're in
And they
the
are-
opposite car, which is nice, because we got 2 cars allowed for this whole race, right?
Yeah, and it kind of looks like they're starting to gain on Venom a little bit.
I saw that. That
Because
gap
Venom-
is a second now.
Yeah, that Venom, or not that Venom, that gap to Venom was about, something happened.
What
Venom
just
is in the
happened?
grass.
Venom's in the grass. Yep. Let's
Yep,
go
and
back.
He's got some left front damage there. Thankfully, nothing in the engine.
Let's revisit
But that car is gonna
Oh, he just catches a lot of curb, and he loses the rear end and never catches it again. Wow, just caught a lot of the curb there coming into Westfield or out of Westfield, which is tough because that's exactly what happens. You get thrown when you touch that curb. I think we're looking at it again here. Yeah, we're looking at it again. Let's see if we can catch it from inside. Yeah, just fishtailing back and forth, and boom, right into the wall. That's unfortunate.
Yep, and that's going to put him all the way back in the 9th position.
Yep, he's just come out of the pits. They're still ahead of Sim Racer AC, but I mean, this was a battle that we probably would have seen anyway, right? Venom starting in 1st and Sim Racer in 2nd. Now they're 9th and 10th in the McLaren and the Audi, so this should be fun. There's a 2.5-second gap between them. Venom may be a little bit shook, but actually, no. You know what? Because every time Venom has had an issue, he comes right back. Ooh, just off in front of him. Marchie Boy just went off a little bit there. That's going to allow Venom to gain. And maybe...
oh, wait. Hold the phone here. I thought J-Rod got really loose there up in 2nd.
Yeah?
I thought he was about to... He almost did just what Venom was doing. Spider Team now is into the grass.
Oh,
Big Red spins out, hits the guardrail.
Venom just did exactly what Venom did. And you said Big Red hit the guardrail?
Yep, Big Red hit the guardrail.
Boy.
Venom got a little bit loose there. He is now battling with Sim Racer there. And Sim Racer's trying to chase him down and reclaim 8th position. So we're getting ready to see a 4-way battle for 6th position between Renegade, Marchie, Venom, and Sim Racer.
And let me tell you, as Big Red was turned around there, I just watched the replay. He got a little bit of help, by the way, from Green on accident. Venom just passed by pretty much side by side with Sim Racer AC, and he was squirrely and almost lost it. Dipped the wheel in the grass. Carnage already, y'all. I mean, Brands Hatch is just that kind of a track. Chevy's in 1st now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Which, after, Venom's incident there, it did allow Chevy to move into 1st. And J-Rod, I mean, he was every bit about 0.3 of a second back from Chevy before he got a little bit loose there in the grass. J-Rod saved it.
He did, but he looked to me like
one...
he was even closer. I think he was right under his wing when he got squirrely.
And that very well may have been the case. I mean,
yeah, on the replay, that's what it looked like. And that's probably why he took too much curb. You can't really see around the next car when you're right behind him, depending on the view that you race in. So I could see why he would have taken too much curb there. But yeah, Chevy leading the field in that Audi, and then followed by 2 McLaren. Chevy is out in the sand at Paddock Bend a little bit. That lost a lot of momentum there, and now J-Rod is right up on him again. That gap is now 0.5 second and getting smaller as we go. Chevy's gonna have to deal with dirty tires here coming through, but not a pass. But now J-Rod's up there, and we might see a fight between them again. Ooh.
Yeah, and it looks to be like that. Let's look here. And I tell you what, Brands Hatch is a hard track, but what makes it even harder for these folks is that these are mid-engine cars, and that Audi is notorious for getting squirrely.
Yeah, we saw, I think that's what's happening both to J-Rod and to Venom there. If you take a lot of curb over there in Westfield, it's going to unsettle any car, but these cars in particular, a lot of that weight is in the back, and so when you wag it around, it wags back. Taking a look at Venom here, looks like Venom is still up ahead of Sim Racer. In fact, has Marchie Boy in between the two of them now.
And
nope.
Gets into the grass.
Oh, Venom.
And that's going to allow Marchie Boy and Sim Racer
into
to
the
get
wall.
past them.
He never catches it again. He never catches it again. Into the grass. I think this is the same spot. Oh, not quite the same spot. This is actually past Westfield. Into Snell,
and he's in the sand again. I am sorry to interrupt you. He is in the sand at the very last turn.
Oh, Venom's having a tough time here. I'm guessing he was
no.
at the last turn just trying to get into the pits, huh?
That's what it kind of looked like there. I mean, it looked like he attempted to turn, but the car just kept going straight.
He would have had incredibly dirty tires coming into it, so if he came in for too much speed, you know, he's just going to slide straight through there. I'm watching Sim Racer try to make a move on Marchie Boy here as they come into the back straight. And
Marchie Boy trying to defend his position. Kind of looks like he's blocking in a sense.
It looked a little bit like blocking there. He's definitely moving a lot. I think, was there a little bit of a touch there?
That was more like a love tap.
Yeah, I think Sim Race is going to get frustrated back there. Marchie Boy better be careful because it only takes one little tap to throw you completely off your line in the braking, and you're kind of asking for it when you're blocking at Brands Hatch. Any touch from Sim Racer AC will send them flying. So he better clean up that defending, before a love tap becomes a love shove.
You ain't kidding. Let's see what Sim Racer's going to do here. Looks like he's going to take the inside line going into the first turn.
Yep.
And out breaks Marchie Boy, and he's now up to 7th.
Absolutely. Makes that turn pretty easy. Marchie Boy settles in behind. So not bad for a pass at Paddock Bend. Passing at Paddock Bend is it's harrowing, especially when you're the one on the outside. If you're the one getting past or even trying to make that pass on the outside, I mean, that turn just falls away from you on the outside. It's so off camber. It's so messed up. That's the only way I can describe it. It's so messed up. But
it is, and it's almost like a foolish move too if you try to pass on the outside because of those reasons you were saying.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty low percentage move if you try to pass on the outside. You have to know that you have more grip than that driver, and you have to trust the other driver as well not to push you Igorski into the wall. I just saw that, just lost the rear end a little bit following Big Red into, what is this corner? Why don't I remember the corner names anymore? Surtees, thank you. And that's definitely going to be damaged there. Let's see. Yeah, front and rear damage. Front left, front splitter damage. Right suspension damage. Right rear. And right rear aero damage as well. So Igorski well and truly thrown into the wall. Hard there. Ooh. Do you know we still have a battle going for first?
I was getting ready to say that they're now separated. Looks to be about 2 or 3 tenths of a second there. Chevy getting into the grass a little bit. That's gonna kind of slow down his momentum, but now it looks like we have a new person here in third, and that is Spider Team.
That was Egon before, right? You think something happened?
It was. Something must have happened because Egon's now about 2.6 seconds back from Spider Team.
Yeah, it's a pass and a huge gap as well.
Now, what happened to Sim Racer? Because oh, no, my apologies. I could have swore he was battling green for 5th, but I think I was mistaken there. I think he was battling Renegade.
Already up in the 5th, but no, he's up in the 6th. Okay, but battling to get up there. I'm on board with J-Rod right now, just watching him, just trying to see if he's making a move. I don't think he's trying to make a move. He looks like he's taking it easy on his tires, turning in a little bit early into these corners, definitely braking early, just staying in Chevy's slipstream. We know J-Rod is very good at saving tires and very good at saving fuel when needed as well. So I wonder if he's waiting to pounce in the pits or to make a move at some point later on here. But it looks like he's content to just pace Chevy for a bit, especially since there's so much drama with his other competitors on pace. How many points does Venom need? Uh-oh, big slide for J-Rod.
Ooh, that was a big slide. Pretty much what Venom has to do is finish this race because he's 15 points ahead of J-Rod. 15 points is the max amount you can get from a race win.
So there's
even if
no, he
J-Rod,
just has to finish the race. That's it. Right? Is that what you're saying?
well, pretty
Because-
much. I mean, all he has to do is finish the race.
Yeah, because if we look at the point structure, do I have a... Let me see if I have a graphic with the point structure there. I don't think I do. But let me check. No, I don't. But you know what? I can pull it up on our website.
I think I might have it, Toddy.
First place received 15 points, down to last place receiving 1 point. So yeah, if the max you can receive for first place is 15 points and Venom is 15 points ahead of J-Rod, all Venom has to do is finish the race and make that 1 point in last place. That's it. And so basically he has clinched the championship so long as he doesn't rage quit, which if I were Venom, it would be so hard not to rage quit right now. But I know he hates that, so he's not going to do it. He's a real gentleman racer. But his internet connection also has to hold up. The lobby's got to hold up. And he takes it. That's it.
Yep. Now, I'm on board with J-Rod here, and it looks like he's starting to get a little bit impatient there once he get past Chevy.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I kind of get what he's got going on though, because I mean, we're at Brands Hatch. I'm having so much trouble with my cameras right now. Bear with me, y'all. We are at Brands Hatch, so you're looking at a lot of dirty air. Why can't I get into the interior view? Whatever. You're looking at a lot of dirty air, first of all, at Brands Hatch. It's very close. There's a Gorski going off in Paddock Bend, but we're going to stay on board here. Every corner, none of these corners, really, is there room for understeer, right? If you understeer here, you're in the grass, and grass is slippery. You're going to go for a very long ride. So I see Venom turning in very early in these turns to stay out of Chevy's dirty air, and Chevy just almost lost it there but held on. I see him turning in early, which can be interpreted as aggressive, right? Because just like, I'm getting in Chevy's mirrors, maybe trying to throw Chevy off, and that's probably, you know, it's killing two birds with one stone. Let me get in Chevy's mirrors to intimidate him, but also I need to turn in earlier, because if I turn in at the right line, quote unquote, I'm going to be in full aero wash and I'm going to go straight. And there's no room to go straight at Brands Hatch. So J-Rod actually really showing some good knowledge of how these cars handle. I think that right there, that move into Sterling, I think that was an intimidation move. I don't think that was just turning in early.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. But otherwise, I don't think he's been that aggressive. Let me jump out of here and jump back in.
He hasn't,
gets fixed.
but I'm looking at the times right now, and, you know, as much as they're playing nice at the moment, they need to pay attention to position 3, that is Spider. Spider's gained every bit of second last lap, just due to them, I guess, maybe taking it easy or, you know, just messing with each other.
Yeah, I see it. He's starting to get there.
So, yeah, they're going to have another driver to worry about here before long.
I just watched Gorski slam into the wall again, this time full front damage. Both corners, the splitter, everything. It was a hard slam. Which makes you grateful again. Oh, and Sim Racer around again.
Yeah,
Sim
Racer.
It makes you grateful that this is just,
and
you know,
Venom
racing.
Venom's in the grass.
Yikes, Sim Racer.
Oh,
Just got stuck in the grass. Just got stuck there. Man, that happens. I've seen it before. It's hard to get back on track once you hook those right wheels into the grass right there. Ugh. I mean, best of luck. Best of luck. Did you say Venom also had an issue?
Venom, yeah, he had went into the grass. Looks like he sustained some left rear damage, as well as just straight rear end damage as well. He is now dropped down to 9th position. Looks like somebody else has left the race as well. We do have 10 drivers on the grid.
I missed
So
the message.
I'm not sure.
Benjo. We lost Benjo. No,
we
that's
lost
who.
Benja. That was in the beginning.
That was in the beginning. I don't see anyone else having
And
left.
then-
But maybe I couldn't see someone.
Marchie Boy. Marchie Boy is left.
Ah, gotcha. Well, it is Brands Hatch. This is one of the toughest tracks in the world. It's one of the toughest tracks in sim racing for sure. It's absolutely one of my favorites. If you've been watching this stream for the entire season, you've probably heard me gush over and over again about natural terrain tracks, and Brands Hatch is absolutely that. This is probably the best example of a natural terrain track that we have in the world, because I don't know what to say. Brands Hatch, it was appealing to bicyclists, actually. That's how it became a racing track. It was part of a farm, Brands Hatch Farm, and some bicyclists were just riding by. They saw it, they liked it, they started riding it because it was bowl shaped, and started just training on it. And then one thing leads to another, right? You get bicyclists racing somewhere, eventually you're gonna get motorcyclists as well, and so you ended up with this place that was kind of an unofficial circuit until it was official. It got bought up by a company that decided to develop it up, especially after World War II is really when it really took off as a circuit, and it became the first purpose-built circuit in Britain, in fact, after World War II. It's pretty cool history. Spider Team is right up on J-Rod and Chevy, by the way. You were right. You were absolutely predicted that. He's right there. And in this fight. And they're all about to lap. I think that's a
J-Rod getting into the sand. I am so sorry.
Ooh, I missed that.
Just got to the sand there at Westfield.
Oh,
So that allowed Spider Team to get past him. J-Rod's now 5.6 seconds back from Chevy.
I was so looking forward to seeing how that battle continued there, especially as they were coming up on Nagorski, coming up on some race traffic here. But, J-Rod's still in third. That's how far ahead they had gotten. But he's 5 seconds back at this point. 5 seconds back from them, and has 4 seconds behind him to Egon. So the field has really spread out. And we were about to have a nice three-way battle, but, we'll settle for some mid-pack stuff. I got Egon and Green here. Spider and Chevy are, of course, still right there next to each other. Sim Racer is racing alone. Renegades all by himself. 21 seconds really to the next car back. Big Red's alone. Venom is alone, but Venom's got pace. If he can get that car together, he'll be in some stuff soon enough. Gorski also not good. Marchie Boy said that he had to leave because he has lunch with his family. He accidentally put fuel and tire in. Okay, so he's thinking he's disqualified anyway. And I forgot, he did say that in Slack, that he would be leaving early. So, goodbye to Marchie Boy. Spider Team and Chevy are...
I received a comment while we're on board watching these battles. We were talking about how tough Brands Hatch is. A YouTuber by the name of Onkel Lama or something like that. He's called Onk. He said it's almost as tough as Nordschleife.
I would definitely call it. If I had to say, if you need to train for the Nordschleife, this is probably where you want to go. It's a shorter version, for sure. Do you disagree?
Yes, I don't disagree at all. I mean, we've already seen it, and we're only about we're only about 25 minutes in it, and we've seen countless cars go into the grass or the sand, get wiped out. So, Spider Team, hold on here. Spider Team just made a pass on Chevy. Chevy and Spider Team are in a heated battle for first position.
Spider Team gets in the grass, and that's the end of that. That's the
got
end of
bumped
that.
by
Coming into
Chevy.
Westfield. Was it a bump?
It was a bump. Chevy had tapped Spider's right rear. And, ooh, now the battle's back on between J-Rod and Chevy.
Oh, I see it. A little tap in the braking zone. That sent Spider into the grass a little bit there. You can tell Chevy feels bad. He slowed down a bit, but, there's no reason to wait right there. Spider Team is all the way around. And yeah, that does bring J-Rod right back into this fight for first. And it looks like he's going inside for Paddock Bend. Is he going to hold on to it? He keeps the inside there. Will have the inside for Druids coming up here. And I think that's past done if he can catch his breaking point. Ooh, he goes a bit wide. And Chevy does try to go inside, but I think J-Rod held on to it. So he's going to go on through. And J-Rod in first place after falling down to third by 5 seconds. Have we said that Brands Hatch is crazy enough? Have we? I don't think we've said it enough. One more time. Brands Hatch is crazy. Okay? That's it. That's it. Wow. Yeah, back to it being perfect training for the Nordschleifer. I mean, yeah, you're looking at a lot of terrain changes. It's a smoother track. The corners aren't as tightly packed, I don't think. But you have to go through it with some of the same principles. You are, you have to very seriously consider being smooth through everything, while still trying to be fast. Every corner has its own personality. Every corner is different. It's not like some of these tracks where you can kind of like, you treat turn 2 like you treat turn 13. No, you have to know every corner at Brands Hatch intimately to be fast here. And it's just a brilliant track. It's just a brilliant track. I mean, I don't think there are very many places where it's flat. Like, this is one of the few ones. This little straight right here, one of the few places where it's flat. Otherwise, you're going up, you're going down, you're going left, you're going right. Ooh, Chevy out a little bit wide into that slippery stuff, but holds on to it. My controller's being weird. Uh-oh, did I lose you, Gorski? I think I disconnected. No, I'm still connected. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect. Hey, Gorski, can you hear me? You're the one I can't hear. I see the green thing going around my face when I talk. Technical difficulties, y'all. Are bad. How do I say her name? Uncle Alma? It was easier when it was Gran Turismo Champs. Boom. It means Uncle Alma. Okay, I got it. It's almost as tough as the Nordschleifer. Yes, it is almost as tough as the Nordschleifer. Most of the US just called you Onk. Okay, Onk. Got it. He didn't expect him to brake so hard. Yeah, I mean... Whoa, I didn't realize J-Rod getting a bit of a gap on Chevy here. A little bit, but not quite running away. You know what? Let's see what's going on in the mid-pack.
What is going on? There we go. Okay, I think I'm back online.
You are back online. Welcome back, Twilight.
Yep, I am back.
By the way, do you prefer to go by Twilight in the chat, or do you... Spider Team is in the pits. I don't know what happened to him. But Spider Team just came out of the pits. He came out in 8th place. The pit window's not open, so that is a repair pit. So he must have got down somewhere. Now Venom's in the pits for a repair as well on both ends. Man, this track is it's catching everybody out. And I don't know if it's necessarily the track, but these mid-engine cars are a bit tough in their stock setup. It's hard to keep the rear end together on these. J-Rod's racing alone. I don't even know what happened to Chevy. Is it too late to catch it?
I'm not sure either. I was trying to look through and see
It is
what was
too
going
late to
on,
catch
but
it.
you know what? Look who's back. Sim Racer is all the way up in third.
Wow, yes he is. Yes he is. All the way back up in the third. There's Chevy getting real squirrely behind him again in Paddock Bend. So now Egon's kind of back in the race as well. Nobody is that far away. Egon is only 13 and a half seconds behind J-Rod, in fact, and we've seen mistakes happen. We've seen huge gains made.
We have, and this just, it's something we've been preaching all race, is how tough this track is. And
Yeah.
patience is key when it comes to this. And I think a lot of drivers, they're just getting a little bit antsy, a little bit anxious. They want to pass that guy immediately.
Yes.
If I was in this race, I don't think I would be passing as much as I would with the other drivers. I think I would be playing mind games with them.
Oh yeah, because No, go ahead.
You're good.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, see where they can mess up.
Exactly.
Poke your nose into the side of their cars, maybe back off a little bit, freak them out, pressure them to make the mistake. That's the kind of track Brands Hatch is.
That is exactly it. Brands Hatch is a track where you set your passes up. You don't just decide, I'm going for a pass. You've got to set that up. You've got to think, okay, if I do this, I'm going to be on the inside for this next thing, and that's when I can nudge my way through. Or, like you said, start making your opponent make mistakes. Have them looking in their mirrors more than they're looking at their braking points, more than they're looking at their corners. Obviously don't do it every single time, because then the feint stops working and then they're not looking at all, and that's actually dangerous to you, right? When you do go for the pass. But you want to play with them. You want to toy with your person, and you want to be thinking 2, 3, 4 corners ahead. How am I going to put this car in a position where I can pass the driver without taking both of us out? Because that's what happens in a lot of these races, is that people go for passes impatiently, and they just end up taking themselves and the other driver out, because there's just not much room. There's not much room at this track. This was, and still is, a track that's very famous with motorcycle racing, with superbike racing, and it's gonna keep that character. So when you're in cars, you gotta act right. You really do. Like, there's nothing else I can say. Like, at Brands Hatch, you need to act right. You need to bring your A game, and you need to be an absolute professional. You need to be on top of it. Spider Team just lost it big. Let me see if there were any hits, if there was any contact. I think he just missed the wall. Coming into, yep. I think he just missed the wall. I think got pretty lucky and did not hit the wall there. So a nice save there for him. Who was that? Spider Team. Yeah, sorry, I could not remember. So just coming out of Sheen's corner, and we'll be able to skip going into the pits for this next lap. I was pretty lucky. He almost smacked the rear end in the wall, but missed it by a couple of inches. It looked like Formula drifting. Ooh, Sim Racer just went absolute quickest in that sector that he was just in. Was that sector 3? He does have the fastest lap, the 1:24.1. No, why don't we go on board? We're coming up on a lap right now. I think I've lost Twilight again, but we're going on board with Sim Racer AC. Another purple final sector on that lap. Another purple lap, rather. Just set another fastest time. Coming into Paddock Bend and now into Druids, which is a slow and long hairpin. Once you get out of Druids, you're going to end up in Graham Hill Bend. Yes, that's named after Graham Hill, the Formula One racer. This is a straight that's named after someone. I can't remember who it is. But up into the uphill left-hander Surtees. This is a hairpin turn. You basically double back on the track here and head into the back straight. This is one of the best places for passing. It's called Pilgrim's Drop, rather the drop part of it is. And then you've got Hawthorne Bend, another good place to pass. Another place where you have to trust the driver next to you, though, if you're on the outside. Sim Racer getting through that pretty well. That's Westfield, where that curb that you just saw him pass is where everyone was going off and getting squirrely, but he gets past it through just fine. And here is Sheen as we come into the second to last corner. What's after Sheen? Sterling's, named after Sterling Moss, another famous driver. Lots of corners named after drivers here. And finally, our absolute last corner is Clark Curb, named after what's his name? Clark something. One of those British Formula One drivers from the heyday of Formula One. But that's a lap around Brands Hatch. It's very quick, as you can see, 1:24. It's less than a minute and a half. It's such a fast track, but there's so much happening in it as you get through it. Sim Racer is coming up on some traffic here with the Gorskys flashing those lights to let him know, please let me pass. The Gorsky does give him the inside of Graham Hill there. And that's going to let Sim Racer pass through easily into second.
Yep.
3.5 seconds behind J-Rod.
Yep, and that's going to allow Sim Racer all the room in the world because there's nobody separating him and J-Rod. And I've been paying attention to the time gaps. That's why I haven't really been talking. And it kind of looks like Sim Racer's gaining about half a second a lap on J-Rod.
Nice. Thank you for paying attention to that. And that makes sense because he's just been dropping fastest sectors and fastest laps. So he's really on a tear. Like, I have to make up for this. And he can only go faster. I know that some of you don't talk about the tires while you're in the race because you don't want the other drivers to know, but the other drivers can see the tires that people are on at the start of the race. And so I'm allowed to talk about it. And you should be paying attention to that anyway. I will say that Sim Racer knows that J-Rod is also on the mediums, and they both can only go quicker. So Sim Racer is going to use all of this time to gain on J-Rod as he can. And the mediums are holding up. They're holding up pretty well for everyone as well. So these cars are probably in their optimal range right now with light fuel tanks, tires not doing too bad. This is when you should be dropping those absolute fastest laps.
Hold on here.
What happened? What did we miss?
Renegade got to the sand there. I'm not sure what happened.
See if I can see it. Going back. Yeah, just caught the inside of Paddock Bend. Was just inside tire of Paddock Bend, and then got slingshotted to the outside and still ended up ahead of Egon, which is insane. I think we got to play that back. Yeah, we need to see that again. That was a lot of fun.
While we're looking at that here, I think what was that hill we were trying to find? Was it Graham Hill?
Graham Hill, no, Clark. Something Clark. Renegade really just kind of showed the Audi Quattro spirit on that, because that was Renegade riding that out. At some point, he stopped being out of control, and he was very in control. He was just in the grass. Egon goes wide behind him. Out of Sheen's, though, but holds on to it, or saves it, rather. Doesn't go all the way around. But, man. Now, what did you say we were looking for?
So one of the turns there, I think it was the Grand Corner, I believe. That was actually Grant. It was a turn dedicated to Grant Hill.
Hold on now, you are. Twilight, you sound awful right now. I think we've lost some bandwidth on you.
I'm not sure why. I have to switch to another headset.
You sound like an awful 80s robot voice, but like one that's just not even discernible. It's great. It's giving me flashbacks to like movies and little toys that I grew up with. Keep it up. Oh, Sim Racer's off! Sim Racer's off after having almost caught up to J-Rod, and he hits the wall hard. That's definite damage coming. Was that Sterling?
That
gets
looked
through
to be
Sheen's
Sterling.
okay. And yeah, in Sterling's, gets too far outside, catches a wheel in the grass, and it slams into the wall. The lucky thing is that the pits are right there. He's not going to go, he's not going to have a lot to go before he gets in the pits. But he had almost caught up to J-Rod right there. Did he pit? He did not pit. He's holding on to the damage. Oh, because the pit window's we're almost here. We have 2.5 minutes till the pit window opens. So that makes sense. Why pit? Just go for it. But that car, look at how squirrely it is. Can we get an inside view of what he's having to do on that wheel to keep it straight? Because he's got damage on both left wheels and front aero damage. It doesn't look too bad to keep it straight. Let me see what it looks like in the corners. Hawthorne's is a good place because it's pretty... yeah, it was a little iffy there. Hawthorne's is pretty high-speed corner. If you're going to test your car's handling, that's where to do it. The handling is definitely affected, but he's clearly holding on to it, and he just has to do it for another lap here. And it should be open. That's J-Rod! What just happened to J-Rod? Sim Racer's ahead of J-Rod. Sim Racer. Oh, he caught a grass on the outside of Sterling. Does he make contact? No contact. So J-Rod will not have to pit for damage, or not have to fix damage in the pit stop. So I think he's going to have a quicker pit stop than Sim Racer. But Sim Racer does make a pass right there. And so now it's a matter of... Sim Racer... If I were Sim Racer, I would make this lap as slow as I could, because it was close on whether the pit window will be open when they cross the pit, when they find the pit lane again, right? They could very well be at 48 minutes and 10 seconds and can't dive in yet and have to go another lap with that damage. So if I'm Sim Racer, if he was looking at the time, I would kind of slow this lap down and ensure that I get to pit this next lap. Before the next
Do
lap.
I sound a little bit better here real quick?
A little bit better, you do. It's a little crackly, but I can hear you clearly.
Okay, well, while they're battling here, we also have a battle for 6th position between Egon and Big Red.
Of course.
And they are bumper to bumper. Big Red tried to take the inside line, and... Oh, there was a battle, and not anymore.
Okay, we got 15 seconds before pit window opens. They have to pass the pit lane. Yep. They can't pit. They can't jump in.
Oh, no.
They cannot jump in. There's 8 seconds left when they pass the pit lane, and so they're going to have to go another lap around. Again, J-Rod has no damage on that car. Sim Racer does have damage, and if I recall correctly, that takes time in the pits, right?
It does. It takes everybody.
Your voice got messed up again, but I think I heard you say it does. So I think that's going to be an issue for Sim Racer. On top of that, you can see that that car is so hard to control for him, and J-Rod is making headway right now. So J-Rod might even make a pass or push Sim Racer into a bigger mistake so he doesn't even have that competition coming out of the pits. And it's up to J-Rod now to play those mind games. Egon is going to go ahead and pit and take fuel and tires. Looks like he's going to be able to do that. So he'll come out soon on the soft. Spider Team is in. Spider Team was already on the soft, so he's going to come out on the mediums. Come out on the slower tire. J-Rod is all over Sim Racer, though. All over the back of that Audi, trying to force him into a mistake, and he does. Sim Racer into the grass at Sheen's, but holds on to it. Nice job to hold on to that. It's catchable, but it is scary, and J-Rod does not make the pass. They're probably both going to jump in here, or at least Sim Racer should. J-Rod may opt to take another lap around. Yes, J-Rod will take a clean lap around, which makes sense to me, because if he comes out at the same time as Sim Racer, you're just going to be right back into a battle, and that's slow. Battling is slow. So J-Rod going another lap, going to try to stay out of traffic at his pit. Sim Racer had to pit anyway. Maybe had another lap of fuel left in the car, but needed to fix damage. And right now, the car is fueling, and now the damage is being fixed. So yes, that does take additional time, but it's still faster to get it done in one pit stop than it is to pit and then do it, and then pit again for your fuel and tires. So Sim Racer doing the absolute fastest thing that he could by staying out for an additional 3 laps after getting damage. He comes out in 4th, just ahead of Renegade, who still owes a pit stop, but Renegade is sitting on so much fuel, a quarter tank in that Audi for Renegade, whereas we saw Sim Racer come in with the tank almost empty, which makes sense. He had to hustle from last. J-Rod still has just an 1/8 of a tank, so J-Rod hasn't even saved as much as Renegade has, though Renegade was on the softs. I don't think the strategy with the softs should have been to be saving fuel. I think it should have been, gunning, running, but I think Renegade had a couple of offs, if I'm not mistaken. Did he?
I think he did have a couple of offs there.
Okay.
Especially at the beginning. Ooh, getting a little bit loose there, but still holding on. He does have to pit still, and he needs to do it pretty soon.
Yeah. Pit
if
window.
he wants to stay in this race.
Well, he's on the softs, so those softs probably aren't doing as well. Chevy just out of the pits now is going to come out behind Renegade. But again, Renegade does owe a pit stop. The softs are actually looking really good, so Renegade could stay out on them until the very last second. Unfortunately, there is a pit window to be concerned about, but if there wasn't a pit window, Renegade has several more laps on those softs to be fast. It's kind of a shame that he didn't get to use them all, to be honest. But Brands Hatch is fast, but it's pretty easy on tires.
And it is, I was looking at the tire wear for the mediums, and heck, even the softs, there's really no tire wear to worry about.
Having no issues with those softs. In fact, let me show you all. You can see the tire wear now. We are looking at Renegade's metrics at the bottom there. You can see those softs on the left, just a little bit of red. The left rear is the most worn, and that's kind of expected. This is a very clockwise track, lots and lots of right-handers, fast right-handers. I think Renegade is gonna want to come in here. It would be cutting it close if he doesn't. If he can get a fast lap, he might be able to get away with not dipping in. Nope, he's going to go ahead and come in. Not going to play with the clock like that, which I can completely understand. He might have been able to get another fast lap on those softs, but not worth having the pit window close on you before you get in. So now we'll see everybody else jump in. Green was also on the softs. I didn't even know. No, sorry, Green is coming out on the softs. Okay, so Renegade was on the softs. Spider was on the softs. I don't think anyone else was on the softs.
I don't think so either. I think everybody else kind of chose the safe route and was starting on the mediums.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the route to go as well, unless you knew you had, absolute mastery of Brands Hatch and could just get a hole shot on everybody and run away on the softs. But I think we've seen everybody, even our absolute fastest, most consistent racers, have had tons of issues keeping the car on track here. So taking the mediums and being safe in the beginning was definitely the way to go, and then using those softs to battle it out, because nobody has run away at this point. Nobody at all. This is still anybody's race at this point. We do have Sim Racer and J-Rod back up at the top, just like our starting grid here, so things are kind of restored to their proper order, so, albeit, Sim Racer would have been in second. But we've got another stint of racing to go. Just because they've got more grip doesn't mean it's going to be any less exciting. Believe me. Chevy's up in third too. So yeah, our starting 3 are back where they were, just not necessarily in the same order.
No, but Sim Racer is having just a field day of a race. I mean, starting, he was in the front row, dropped back to just about last place, and now he's up into first. I mean, he has had one heck of a race so far. We still got 41 minutes left to go.
That's right. Back into first after, he not only climbed up, it wasn't even a perfect climb. Like, we caught a couple of spins. There were probably more that we didn't catch. We caught a couple of spins. He had a spin and a slam into the wall just before that pit stop. Quite frankly, it's a little surprising that he did come out ahead of J-Rod. I think maybe J-Rod had an issue or something, because I'm not even sure how that math lined up. But yeah, Sim Racer's having a crazy race. Let me just run through the order here real quick while we're back out of now that the pit window's closed. By the way, Sim Racer just put together the next fastest lap, a 1:23.8. So already finding speed in those softs with a full tank of gas. So okay, Sim Racer up front, J-Rod in second. Chevy came out in third, but he's 7.2 seconds back from J-Rod. But I mean, you've seen how much time gets lost when you go off at Brands Hatch, so that's not too far back if you're looking at the trend of this race. Green is also pretty far back behind Chevy, 13 seconds for Green in fourth place. And Renegade into the top 5 there. Renegade's on the mediums after taking the softs for the first stint, so he's kind of on the back foot as far as the top 5 go. Though he's got plenty of room behind him, 22 seconds to Big Red, and Big Red isn't necessarily in the clear because he's got Spider Team behind him. And in fact, he's got a pit, so forget that. Spider Team is Egon is behind Renegade. Followed by Spider Team and Venom. They are all racing together. Venom is on those softs though. Renegade's on the softs too, though has damage, but opted not to pit, I guess. Spider Team's on the mediums, and so at any minute now, Venom's going to be right on top of him. We'll come back to this in a second. Big Red just came out of the pits in 9th, and Agorski is still sitting in 10th place on the race here. 5 minutes behind Sim Racer. He's on lap 32 while Sim Racer's on lap 36. So Igorski 4 times lapped here. Not a good day for him either.
No, not at all. And you know, Venom, he's still chasing down Spider Team and Egon. He's about 0.3 of a second back from Spider Team. I imagine it's going to close some more. Ooh, gets a little bit loose there, but
in Westfield
about...
again.
Yep.
That same curb. Curb.
And he lost a little bit of time, but he made it right back up. He is now on Spider Team's rear. But here's the problem with Brands Hatch. Where do you pass? Especially if you got 2 cars in front of you. Now, Spider Team's in the mediums, gets into the sand.
And that's that.
Egon, he's on the softs, but he's got damage in the right front, so that's going to make it pretty hard for him, especially coming around this turn, and which he manages to do it, but he can't go as fast as Venom can. So Venom is going to be all over Egon's rear. Hopefully, Venom can maybe set up a run down Pilgrim's Hill and pass him.
I would think that that's what he's going to do here. Again, you got to think about your setup. It's about getting this corner right here, just right, and it doesn't matter.
And Egon in the grass.
Out in the grass at Graham Hill. Not Graham Hill. Where's that corner? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Venom, no need to set up a pass on the straight here. Gets that clean air he's looking for. And now he has 21 seconds of clean air to... Careful, Venom. Avoid that curb. Don't take too much of that. All right, Venom.
Now, here's what's interesting to me, because Sim Racer and J-Rod, they were battling. Ooh. Now there's a 3.6 second gap between first and second.
Ooh, yikes! So, a little bad news for J-Rod, or is Sim Racer just that much quicker? Let's see. J-Rod's putting together. Okay, yeah, well, after that pit, you see that 150 there, that would have been the pit, and then he does a 128 after that. That's the outlap, and he gets to 124.8, 124.4, and a 124.6. The last 3 laps were not that inconsistent. They're all within 0.2 of one another. Sim Racer is just putting together quicker laps. That 123.8, I mean, that's a second faster, almost a second faster than J-Rod's fastest lap right now. I don't think anything has happened to J-Rod. Sim Racer just has pace.
Yeah,
23,
and it
a 24
looks like
flat. He's got a 24 flat just now.
Yep.
So
That's going to make it interesting. But, I mean, the whole field here is spread out pretty good. The closest thing we've got here at the moment is between 6th and 7th. But, heck, that's a 2.3 second gap. And that gap's increasing. I mean, Venom, he's now about 2.6 seconds ahead of Egon.
he is,
And it's
he's
just
also
climbing.
2 seconds closer to Renegade. So it won't be long before we see Venom up into a battle for 5th rather, back into the top 5. I think it'll be his first time making it into the top 5 since his off in lap 1, lap 2.
I believe it was lap 1, but we got a caution here. I'm on board with Sim Racer. Trying to figure out who it is. It was Big Red that got into the grass.
Okay, yeah, I saw
So-
Big Red was a little bit ghosted. Spider Team into 9th place after he was almost in the battle for 1st, and he's got damage right now, and it looks like he's going real slow. In fact, why is he going so slow? Is he just trying not to cross in front of?
It was lap traffic is what it looked like. He had some cars on the lead lap there that were passing him.
He did, but he was going slow for a long time, way longer than he needed to. So that was interesting. But he's into the pits now. Sim Racer, fastest first sector again. Sim Racer is not playing. He's putting time between himself and J-Rod, which honestly is what's needed, because if you make a mistake, you lose so much time. The only thing you have going for you is your buffer. How far ahead of the last guy were you when you made that mistake? And right now he's put together a 4-second buffer on J-Rod, and it's climbing. Like, it's 4.3 really. It's insane the speed that he's got in that Audi right now.
It is, and it's, I got to give credit to Sim Racer. I mean, he's, he could have easily rage quit at the very beginning of the race, but he just put his head down, dug in, and look where he's at now.
Look where he's at now, up into 1st. I don't know if there's a scenario where Sim Racer can get a spot ahead of J-Rod in the championship, though. Let's see, he's got 92 points. No, he could. So J-Rod is 9 points ahead of him. He's got 101 points. Sim Racer's got 92 points, and if Sim Racer wins this, he gets 15 points, which would put him. Oh my gosh, do math. Somebody do math.
So, looking at it here, let's just look at, let's...
Yeah, because I can't do math. You do
Let's
it.
just,
Not
yeah,
even
I'll do the
simple
math here.
arithmetic.
You do the math, I'll do the grammar, because I can't figure out this word.
Damn it! All right, well,
Let's
you have
speculate.
107 points.
Speculate.
Let's speculate.
Okay,
Right?
speculate. So, Sim Racer 92, J-Rod 101, so they're separated by 9 points. Now, if Sim Racer wins, that's 15 points to him.
Yeah, so he'd end up with 107 points if he wins.
Yep.
And J-Rod
Now-
got 101 now, so J-Rod will only need to get 6 points.
Yeah, and if he finishes second, he'll get 14.
He will.
So, it looks to me like J-Rod would still stay in second place.
But the point is, there's a chance, because if J-Rod falls to
There is.
10th or something like that, where he doesn't get 6 points at least, what position would get him 6 points? Can you do that math? I'm gonna go back to the main scene here.
I could do that math.
Do that math.
He would have to finish 10th.
He'd have to finish in last to get 6 points.
Yes.
And that would tie it up 107-107.
And I think the tiebreaker would be probably race wins or race finishes.
Most likely, which I think J-Rod has an edge on that for sure.
He might. Now, J-Rod did miss a couple of races.
He did. I think Sim Racer did as well, no?
You know what? That's a good question, too. Let me speculate again.
I love having a partner.
I know, it's great. Let's see, so... Wait a minute, that was before he changed his name. That was Abdel.
7.5
I don't
seconds, by the way, is
see-
the gap now between Sim Racer and J-Rod. Like, I mean, he's putting seconds on him per lap.
I
J-Rod
really
dipping
don't-
into the 25s for the last couple of laps, in fact.
I don't think Abdel's missed a race.
Well, then, I don't know. I don't know what the stewards would use as the tiebreaker in that case. But, you know, there's...
Oh, wait. Wait, I'm wrong. He missed one race here at Red Bull.
Okay.
And then he was, let's see, last place at Nürburgring. Round 3 was Big Willow. I think he was in it? Yeah, he was 4th. And then he won the second race at Autopolis. And then the first race, he came in, I think it was 8th or 9th. One of the two.
Oh, poor
Or
Gorski.
6th.
Off again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this time at Hawthorne's, just before a huge hit again. But that does give Venom a free pass. So Venom was right up on him. Sorry, go ahead. I just caught that because I saw they were racing together.
Oh, you're good. I just pretty much finished it up there. But look at this, okay? Venom is now 6.4 seconds back from Renegade.
Yeah,
Hey, this is gonna get good.
much closer. It was 20 seconds the last time we checked. So to bring that gap down to 6 seconds means, I mean, the pace is there, but is the consistency there? Is he going to get behind Renegade and make that pass? Or, you know, is he going to get caught out and end up, you know, well, you know.
Oh, I know exactly. And here's another interesting thing too. I'm taking a look at tires. I'm pretty sure we could talk about them now since everybody's pit. Renegade is on mediums. Venom's on softs.
Yes. So
that's going to be a key factor as well, and that's probably why Venom's been gaining so much time. It's now to about a 3.5 second gap between himself and Renegade.
most definitely tires are the biggest factor in that, but there's still a matter of getting around him. Look at how narrow this track is. You have to find that place to pass. And sometimes it's braking, sometimes it's just waiting on a straight. There are a lot of straights in the Grand Prix section of the track. That's the last couple of sectors. So you notice like the first start of the track here where Renegade is, it's kind of tight and it loops back in on itself. And then you get into that long back straight. That is an extension that they added when the owners of Brands Hatch wanted to, they wanted to appeal to Formula One. And at the time, like, straight line speed was it. So that back section is made up of all straights with corners in between them, right? Those are great places to pass if you can get out of a corner quicker, if you can break into a corner sooner, or later, rather. So let's see what Venom does here. He is coming up on him into Pilgrim's Drop. I don't think it's close enough to make a move here just yet, though.
No, they're separated by about 0.8 of a second. So Venom is clearly out of Renegade's slipstream, because that sweet spot is 0.75
Okay.
or 0.7 of a second. So anything below that, that's your slipstream.
Well, he's
which-
in it now.
Yeah, he is in it now. So that's gonna make it interesting here, coming off this turn and heading towards was it Sterling Corner?
Yeah, that's Sterling, that left-hander right there. And this is Clearways.
Clearways. My apologies.
No, that's okay. The corner is named Clark. The straight is named Clearways, rather. I should have specified.
Gotcha. Let's see here. Heading into the first turn, is Venom going to do anything? Maybe try to
Sets up
pass him. Gets a
wide.
great run.
He does. He
Great
sets up
run on
wide
Renegade.
to get into Paddock Bend there and dives into Druids. I think a little bit of a touch there. I don't think he really had the space to make that pass into Druids just yet. But did get a great run in turn one there. I saw that happening. He was trying to get that over-under on him.
let's see. Okay, so it looked like Renegade. Oh, he didn't get a better run.
No, he didn't. Venom was pretty slow there. He just hugged the inside of that turn a lot. And I don't know if he was just trying to get a better run out of it, but he was a little late on the throttle for sure. Didn't carry as much speed through that corner as he should have been able to.
And look at that. Renegade got a little bit loose there in the grass, and that allowed Venom to just clearly pass him. Renegade is not going to give up without a fight, though. Heading into Clark, Renegade's got the inside line there. Venom try to outbrake him. Looks like he's going to get it done. Renegade gets just a tad bit loose, and that's going to give Venom all the room he needs to secure that 5th position, especially on those better tires.
That's it. But yeah, Renegade was side by side with him for the last 2 corners. I wasn't able to go back far enough to see where he got squirrely because I was so busy watching the battle. But nice job just even staying up with him, even though they're clearly on different tires. Renegade just looking to not make that pass easy, and I commend him because you never know. Venom is on the softs, yeah, but if Venom messes up, you know, the soft tires don't matter 30 seconds back, right? And that's what we were talking about. Would Venom be able to make the pass once he got there? Looks like he did. Hopefully he's able to keep it, but Venom's into the top 5. Finally. Sim Racer is 10 seconds up the road from J-Rod now.
And wait a minute. Wait. Venom got into the grass, hit the guardrail.
No.
Renegade is now past him. Oh no, and Venom's got damage in the right rear.
Well,
In the back arrow.
we did ask, would he be able to hang on to it? Not again. Is that again in Westfield? It is. It is again in Westfield. Venom is gonna have so much trauma around that corner at the end of this race. I mean, he's gonna need therapy about Westfield. Because I think that's been the place where he's ended up in the wall the most. He's just eating a lot of that curb, and I understand the urge to. It's a very tight corner, and you kind of do have to attack that curb to really make it, but I don't think the McLaren likes it. And it's not working out, so he's gonna have to adjust his line through there, because at this point it's just lost him too much time. It's lost him the race, quite frankly. Not, you know, there's still 23 minutes left, don't get me wrong, but you know, he was in first place and pulling a gap on everyone in first place when it took him out the first time. So, you know, we're 45 laps into this thing. Yeah, you know, at what point do you kind of get your head around, hey, I can't really hit this curb as hard as I want to. Sim Racer's actually coming up on it right now. This is the corner we're talking about. There's that curb on the inside, and you do want to attack it. Sim Racer does, and you see it makes him squirrely too. You saw he kind of lost the rear end a little bit there. It's not to be played with. You have to be pretty careful about how you hit it. And you see that he loses the rear end a little bit there, just took a little bit too much of it. But you do want to hit that curb in that corner. But
Now,
in these cars, we're going to need to adjust the way we're driving through that corner. Yeah, it's a slower way through it, but it's a way that doesn't end up in a wall.
Now, speaking of losing the rear end, we do have a battle for second here between Chevy and J-Rod. Looks like J-Rod must have made a crucial mistake because he's now 21 seconds back and has damage in the right front. So
yeah, I was just looking at that. I was like, that gap just doubled.
that is very unfortunate. Now, that's going to give Chevy a perfect opportunity to pass J-Rod into second place.
It might. J-Rod opted not to pit there, which is interesting because I'm sure that car is maybe understeering a bit on him, and that right rear has to be in a bit squirrely. So it's interesting that he passed the pits there, but he seems to be driving it okay. Sometimes you get damage, and it doesn't change the way the car handles.
Sometimes it helps the handling of the car too, which is odd.
Yeah, Yeah, maybe it just throws your arrow balance into the right direction for what you needed, right? It happens. It happens. Ankh says it's smarter to let people pass who are way faster. Battles cost too much time. That's how I feel. If I know that person has absolute higher pace over me, I will probably not battle them. That said, if their pace is only slightly better than mine, I may make it difficult for them to pass, because what I'm hoping for is that they'll make a mistake behind me and just give me the read back, right? So I won't make it easy. But if it's somebody who's like, you know, they're blazing past me at half a tenth, a second, a lap, I'm just going to let them go through and maybe get a slipstream from them and follow through. J-Rod does pit to take care of that damage, by the way. So that gives Chevy second place for the first time in a very long time. But I mean, Sim Racer is so far up the road at this point.
He is. At this point, it's his race to lose.
It is. Absolutely. Or Brands Hatch's race to win.
Or that, yeah.
It's Brands Hatch that's going to make him lose it. Man, I love this track. I love this track so much. This is one of my absolute favorites. And I'm surprisingly consistent at it. Mostly because I have messed it up so much that I kind of know how not to. But yeah, this is one of the better circuits in the world if you are into old school harrowing racing where there's no room for mistakes and it takes just concentration and daring to get through a race. This is one of those circuits for you. This one, the Nürburgring, Laguna Seca. Some tracks are just a mental game.
Suzuka's one of them, in my opinion.
Absolutely, Suzuka too. Mount
And
Panorama.
we are now. Oh, let's not talk about Mount Panorama.
I love Mount
That
Panorama.
is- That whole downhill section is that'll make or break a race.
It
And
will.
I wonder, I'm wondering, could that be one of the next tracks for next season's GT Cup?
If it is, I'm racing. If somebody else is gonna have to commentate. I'm
Hey,
gonna
I'll
be in that
commentate.
race.
I'll commentate. I ain't scared.
All right, you commentate, and I'll race for you. How about that? I'll wear your livery,
There
and I'll
we
race
go.
for you at that race. I hope I do
There
you
we
proud.
go.
I hope I do you proud. Ooh, what is this? A pass for? Oh, not position.
Wait.
That is Sim Racer making a blue flag pass on Renegade. Sim Racer has lapped up to fifth
Wow.
place. Dang. Fifth place
Let's
getting
see,
lapped
25,
there.
8, 25, 26. I think he might lap fourth.
Probably. We have a lot of racing left. About 18 minutes. Brands Hatch really is a mental track. 100%. I mean, endurance races here are some of the toughest races that you'll ever be in, because it is so easy to take just laps and concentration. This corner, J-Rod's going to come up on it. But Graham Hill, that's my corner where I lose my concentration. I don't know what it is, but if I'm in a long race at Brands Hatch, if I'm going to mess up a corner, it's Graham Hill, because for some reason, I'll forget to brake enough. J-Rod's coming up on it right now. It's this downhill. It's downhill braking, and then it's this left. And there's a lot of space on the outside to go. But if you go all the way outside, it's a wrap. And let me tell you, that's me all day. Who is that we're passing right now?
That looked like it was Egon. That
I
was
think so.
Egon.
Yes, it was. That was the Martini livery. So Egon around, still in 7th place, and I don't think that's a loss of position for him. He's got 30 seconds in either direction. So pretty lucky not to lose a position or hit the wall, really.
He is now. We were talking about Venom and Renegade, how they were battling, and Venom had to hold on. Well, Venom's now 4.2 seconds back from Renegade.
Yeah.
And it dropped.
a lot in Paddock, which makes sense. It's a high-speed turn. He's got much grippier tires, so he's going to carry a lot more speed through Paddock Bend than Renegade will. It's these slower corners where there's not going to be that much of a difference, but those high-speed sweepers is definitely where Venom's going to gain time on Renegade here.
Yeah, so that's gonna have to be something we keep our eye on. Because, I mean, if I was Venom at this point, 15 minutes left in the race, you know you can catch him. Why not stay behind? Maybe, you know, like I was talking about earlier in the race, pressure him. You know, kind of get in his head a little bit. See if Renegade would make a mistake. Or maybe wait until the last 5 minutes of the race, then make her pass and try to move away.
Maybe. I thought I heard a V8 revving, and I did. It was Spider Team off in the grass at Surtees, and then kind of spun it trying to get back on, and now had to wait for a lot of drivers to pass by before he could get back on the track to continue his race there. So Spider Team, again, someone who was at one point, did he hit first or was it second? And then he lost.
He was second and he was chasing down first, and then he had lost it. It was between him and Chevy, and I believe Chevy just may have tapped him just a tiny bit, and it caused Spider Team to just
what it was.
lose it.
Yeah, that tap into Westfield, I remember, and he got stuck in the grass on the outside. Yep. Chevy, by the way, is finding some more speed in that car from time to time. He actually had his fastest lap 2 laps ago, but still nowhere near Sim Racer's pace. But he dropped a 1:24.4 on lap 50, which is actually very fast for what Chevy's been doing, looking at the lap times around it. So very interesting that he put together a monster of a lap randomly and hasn't hit that again. Big Red's into the pits, must need to fix damage. You know what, Twilight? I need to take a quick break. Who would you like me to keep the camera on and you commentate for like 3 minutes?
Let's keep an eye on Venom here, because that gap, he just now set the fastest lap of the race at a 1:23.7.
Oh, he really just did. He really just did.
Just did. He is now about 2 seconds back from Renegade. And, you know, we are on board with him. And there's some spots here Venom can gain on Renegade, and there's some spot that Renegade's better at. But what's going to be interesting is I'm looking here, and it looks like Renegade's going to have to deal with some lap traffic. It looks to be maybe... I thought it was Egon, but I'm not sure who it is. Let's see, going down Pilgrim Hill, it wasn't lap traffic. Sim Racer just maybe lapped Renegade, so that's going to make it interesting. Now, Venom is less than a second away from Renegade. So, still running on board here, heading into the final turn of the track. And we're going. Venom still closing that gap to Renegade. And, like I said, if I was Venom, I would just kind of hang back. And, you know, just toy with them. I'm not saying, you know, punt them or, you know, dive bomb or anything of that sort. But make sure that Renegade knows you're there. You know, knock on the door. Maybe kick the door. But you don't want to kick that door open to where you try and pass him. Now, it looks like Sim Racer at this point is just kind of chilling here at the moment. That might cause some issues with Renegade. Renegade's trying to do everything he can to just kind of stay back. And what's this here? Sim Racer. Yes, Renegade got past Sim Racer. There's Sim Racer. I think it's going to start battling. Heading into the, I believe it's Westfield. Let's see what Venom does here real quick.
Venom
Okay.
is gonna want to unlap himself. I'm back. And he has the right
You're
to
back.
do that. He does not have the right to stop Venom. I'm sorry. He doesn't have the right to stop Sim Racer from passing him. But he can fight to pass Sim Racer back and unlap himself. Venom's in 6th, and he's going to want to get past Sim Racer to get to Renegade. But wow,
Here we
this is
go.
awesome to see our fastest lap holder go around the outside on Paddock Bend, on our previous fastest lap holder. It's interesting to see their pace. I hadn't even noticed that Venom was going so quick because Sim Racer kept getting those fastest laps. And to be honest, that 23.7 from Venom seemed very inspired because he hasn't gotten anywhere near it before that. And he certainly isn't getting it now because he's in traffic. Is Sim Racer slowing down on purpose? Do you think
That's
maybe
what
he's
it
worrying
looked
about
like.
fuel?
Let me take a look here while we're still on board with Venom. No, he's got plenty of fuel here with 10 minutes left in the race. He's got about a quarter of a tank.
Yeah. But
I think
everyone else has got more. J-Rod into the wall. No damage. Just a quick tap. I don't even think he actually hit it. I think I'm wrong.
Ooh. Renegade playing with fire. He just about got to the grass. But I think what Sim Racer was doing, I think he recognized there's a battle for 5th here going on, and the last thing he needs to do... Ooh, wait, Renegade in the sand!
Uh-oh.
In the sand, and away he goes.
Oh, and he's stuck there. He's stuck there. That happens right there at Graham Hill. If you get hooked into that sand, you live there now. It doesn't let go. It never lets go, and that's what happened to Renegade. You saw him riding it for so long. He's lucky not to spin, because usually that'll send your car right into that wall on the right, and he's just along for the ride. That's the second time we have seen Renegade say, "Quattro, not a problem. I got that too." That's the second time we've seen him catch that car and hold on to it in the grass. But yeah, that battle's done. Venom now into 5th place, and Venom unlapped himself from Sim Racer. Now, you were saying, do you think Sim Racer was slowing down to let that battle go?
I believe so. I mean, Sim Racer's got a good enough buffer. He's still about 18 seconds ahead of Chevy. And I think he recognized that battle for 5th and 6th. And with him, you know, kind of being sandwiched in between Renegade and Venom, it made him realize, like, look, I'm interfering in this battle here. I need to slow up. I've got a good enough gap to where I can afford to lose a couple seconds to let 5th and 6th duke it out. Especially with 10 minutes to go left in the race.
I mean, that's a very gentlemanly thing to do, and maybe that is definitely what he was thinking, because you're right, he's got a 20-second gap. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. It was 20 seconds when I just checked a moment ago. It's 17 now. So why is he going so slow? Does he think he's not going to make it on fuel? Because there are people with less fuel than him. Green has... no, Green has a little more, actually, but Venom certainly has less fuel, and Venom is still on a tear. Though he may decide to slow it down here too, now that he doesn't have a chance at 4th. He doesn't have to battle Renegade, who's 7.6 seconds behind, but he's not going slower. He just went faster. He just set the fastest second sector there. So I don't know. Fastest 3rd, trying to do something, and has even less fuel than Sim Racer, so I don't know why Sim Racer's going so slow. It's 16 seconds, the gap now. What do you think is going on with this dude?
Well, he might be a little bit paranoid too, because I was just thinking about this.
He's
Sim
got a
Racer
history of running out of fuel.
He's got a history of cutting it way too close on fuel.
Yep, he does. He really does. So I can see why he might be taking it easy. In which case, if he thinks he should be taking it easy, Venom probably should too. Unless Sim Racer's maybe just made a miscalculation with the fuel that he's got left. Maybe he's thinking he's got more laps to go than he does. Because it's only 6.5 minutes, which is what, 4 laps maybe? At
That
a
looks
lap
to
and
be
a half
about
each.
4, maybe 5. I mean, what?
Probably 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. A minute and 30 would be a lap.
It might be
that by
5.
two?
You're
That's
right,
3
because
minutes.
we're in a minute 24 really for the fastest
Yeah.
lap, so it could be 5 laps left. So I think he's got plenty of fuel for 5 laps. But he's still getting even slower. It's 15 seconds now. I don't think he's slowing up at a rate that's going to affect him by the end of the race. But he's slowing up at a very rapid rate, for sure. And J-Rod is still there. J-Rod is still there. So if Sim Racer eats up too much of that buffer and catches the grass in the wrong spot, we could see a pass for first at the very last second here.
We could, and I don't know, this is just too interesting.
It is. Where is, let me see. I need to look at our standings again. I'm trying to predict. All right, Chevy's got 97 points. And Sim Racer's in first right now, and Chevy's in second. So Sim Racer's not going to surpass Chevy in points, as Sim Racer only has 92, as we can see here. So I think I have a prediction on our podium finish here, but Brands Hatch is insane. Oop, I'm sorry.
It truly
That
is.
is not the right. That is not the right seat.
Oh, somebody is really setting off fireworks here. With it being 4th of July weekend, and this is something else.
Yeah, I heard some earlier myself, but I don't hear any right now on my end. But I kind of forgot it was 4th of July weekend. Wow.
Yeah, but let me tell you,
12.
they're going crazy.
Seconds.
12.6. Ooh.
And he's put himself into Renegade's clutches. And while Renegade is lapped, he has the right to battle Sim Racer, which could only slow him down more and give J-Rod even more of a chance. I can't imagine why Sim Racer has decided to do this and slow down to the point that he is now in danger of being harassed by someone. And it, like, the pace differential is crazy because Renegade's on mediums. And Sim Racer has slowed up enough to let him come and take a pass. Sim Racer's just letting him go. So I think Sim Racer is really worried about fuel, and I don't think he really has a reason to be. We got 3 minutes left in this race. You know, that's another 2 laps, perhaps 3. But he better be careful because he's his gap is halfway gone. His gap to J-Rod, his buffer that he had. Sorry, to Chevy. My fault. I don't know why I keep thinking J-Rod's in second. It is Chevy. Maybe he's going for a safe finish without any risk. I mean, there's a safe finish, and then there's, like, demolishing your pace. Like, just absolutely diminishing it. Especially at a track where even he has shown a lot of inconsistency in the race. So, you know, I wouldn't think that being in someone's dirty air is where he wants to be at the end of this, but maybe he can hold on to it. Maybe he can hold on to it. But 10 seconds is not a lot to lose if you dip a wheel into the grass out here. And it's getting hairy with Renegade. Renegade just messed up. Just gave Sim Racer the pass there. Luckily, that was pretty easy, but, you know, that could have gone badly, right? Renegade could have snap oversteered right back into Sim Racer here. So Sim's gonna wanna to just keep that pace. Just keep the pace. The race is almost over, and you will finish it on the fuel that you have. I will remove the banner so y'all can see what everyone's working with. J-Rod, meanwhile, chilling in third. On fire. I mean, not doing too badly. The lap times have been pretty consistent here. I think he's finally really got the car under him. I mean, he had it before. You know, we just saw a few issues. Just some unlucky stuff. But J-Rod has managed to keep that car in the top 3 this whole race. I think
Now-
he's the only one who's managed to stay in the top 3 this whole race.
Here's an area of concern.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Venom, and we're talking about fuel situations.
Oh,
Venom should be scared
Oh, yeah. Venom.
because
Yeah.
he's a second and a half, nope, 1 second ahead of Renegade. Has barely any fuel left, has damage in the left front. Meanwhile, Renegade, he's still on those mediums, but he's got way more fuel, so he can push harder.
He can
This is
push
going to make
harder.
for an interesting finish because it is the last lap of the race.
Ooh, nice catch. And yeah, clearly something happened to Venom there because he was so far away from Renegade that we didn't even think that was an issue anymore. But he got into the wall somewhere. He's got that damage. Renegade is already trying to make his presence known here. He is on those mediums. He's gonna have to be careful. But I think he knows he can try something. I think he's aware. Ooh,
Yep,
Venom
Egon
breaks
finished
super early
seventh.
into Sheen there, and that throws Renegade off a bit. I don't know if that was a brake check or what. Renegade
And Renegade
himself.
getting into
And
the
Sterling
grass, into the guardrail.
is gonna lose 6th place, is 5th, and here comes, who's that? That's Big Red. That's not a pass for position.
Sim Racer.
That's not a pass for position. Is he going to lose a position? I don't think so. Is that Egon coming up? No, that's not the livery. That's J-Rod. So Renegade, lucky to keep 6th place there after getting into the wall, trying to make a bid for 5th. Got pretty lucky there. But yeah, Sim Racer with a win here. So I think, what does that do to our championship? I think that makes it Venom, J-Rod, Chevy.
You know, I believe it does. Let
Yeah,
me
provisionally.
take a gander here.
Provisionally.
Chevy Sim Racer. So it was. Let me take a look at the race results. So provisional, Chevy's going to keep 3rd. J-Rod will keep 2nd. Venom's going to keep 1st.
That's what I thought.
Egon is going to pass NX for 5th. J-Rod, or not J-Rod, Big Red, I think he's going to keep 7th. But Sim Racer started up front, fell back into 10th, clawed his way up, winning the race with an 11-second gap. That you cannot, you couldn't have asked for a better finish from Sim Racer.
You couldn't. I have to send you a friend request. Can you accept that real quick? It's the only way I can invite the winner and champion to the party.
So you have to send
I just
me a friend request?
I just sent you one. Yep.
Okay. I am waiting for it here at the moment.
So I didn't come in? I don't know.
I believe we were
It says it's
already. That is odd.
Is it not in your pending requests right now?
It is not.
What? Mine says outgoing friend request right there. All right. Well, can you send me one? Let's see what works.
Let me take a look here and let's search.
Might be too late.
It very well could be. Here we go. Let's do that. Send.
I didn't mean on
Just sent?
PlayStation. On I'm sorry. On.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. On what is this called? Discord.
Discord.
Yes. That's what it was. I can send you another one. It's easier.
Well, let me take a look here. Oh, there we go. I see it. Bam. All right.
All right, perfect. So, let's see if we can add. What is SimRacer's name on here? We might not be friends. I'm not friends with Venom either. All right. You know what? We're not going to be able to do an interview with anybody for the end of the stream. But thank y'all for watching. Was there anything else that you wanted to add, Twilight? Sorry, I tried to do an interview with the drivers, but I guess that wasn't going to work out for us.
Really? There's not much else to say. I mean, this race summed it up.
It did. It was a killer. Thank y'all for tuning in to the championship. We had 10 races. I don't have an announcement for you as far as whatever our next championship will be, but keep an eye out on the Twitter channel, Twitter account rather. It's just GT Champions on Twitter, and if you follow me, I'm eDirtyTati on there. I'll probably also retweet whatever our next season of racing is, but understand it's probably coming soon.
Yeah, I would say so.
Awesome. All right, let's see the stream out here.